The really strange thing is, like, I've only been here 5 minutes, but it already feels like home. I thought I'd be really, really emotional coming in here, but it feels right. It just feels like it should be. It feels like our home ground. And the stadium's fantastic. I can't believe, from where we've come from as a club that we started again in 2002, to be able to, as a fan-based club, build this. It's just fantastic for us, for the community, and for football as a whole. Plough Lane was what it was. It was ramshackle, but it was ours. And it had an atmosphere about it that you couldn't replicate in many other grounds. I'm hoping this will be the same. Kings Meadow in between was very much of the same kind of cloth, in that it was small, it was compact, we were on top of the players, we were on top of the pitch, and it gave us a chance to create a bit of a unique atmosphere, we'd like to think. And I think we'll do the same here. We've got a big ground, hopefully we'll fill 9,000, we've got a nice big home end here with safe standing in it, and I don't see any reason why we can't make this the fortress that Plough Lane was and the Kings Meadow was. Well, I grew up about half a mile from the ground in Wimbledon Park, and my dad and my grandfather used to bring me. First game would have been mid-70s. We were still playing in white with a green fence down the front of the West Bank, so that's probably around about maybe 74, 75, some of the experts tell me. I sat in the south stand for a lot of the time with my grandfather, and I still got a seat from the south stand at home now when they knocked Plough Lane down. Looking back at Plough Lane, that was a real sort of mix of memories, all the way from being a kid to being a teenager, growing up on the West Bank, to my early 20s when everything happened with the split and the move to Dublin and everything else. So Plough Lane was very good memories, but also tinged with sadness at the end of it, in that it ended so badly with the club, and also we never got to say goodbye to the ground, really. To me, Wimbledon's football club has always and only ever been about Plough Lane. This was where we grew in the football world as a club. And even though we've been away from this place for 29 years, we've been to Selhurst Park and to Kings Meadow, all the ups and downs we've had, the really, really dark times we've had, Plough Lane has been like a sort of shining light, a beacon, that we can still make this happen. Providing that we as a group of fans believe that we can make this happen, it's still possible. And the really interesting thing is talking to the new generations of fans that only know us since Selhurst, only know us since Kings Meadow. While we've been in those grounds, all they have heard is the fans singing about Plough Lane this and Plough Lane that. And I've asked them myself, what is it about Plough Lane that is special for you? Why is it important to you? And they said, well, because the fans that were there have gone on about it, have sung about it, and have made the point that this is what Wimbledon's all about. And therefore, they want to see a little bit of it for themselves. I mean, my son, he's 17, he like me grew up half a mile from the ground, but his ground was Kings Meadow. He's only ever known Kings Meadow. But he's also only ever known a home end and an away support that sang about Plough Lane this, Plough Lane that. So it's in the blood. It's as simple as that. Plough Lane is in the blood of Wimbledon fans. And that's the way it always was, and that's the way it will be, and that's never going to change. There was never a question that as soon as the club said, do you want a debenture, do you want a season ticket, that I was going to step forward and do that. Not everyone can afford to do that, but I saved a bit of money to make sure that my son and myself could do it. And even in the situation currently with COVID, I will do what I can to try and do my little bit to see if I can help keep the club ticking along. I came with my dad and my grandfather, and for my son, he only ever had one option, and that was going to be a Wimbledon fan. It was either that or hate football. The best thing that I can do when I tap out of this place is leave him behind as a Wimbledon fan, so that he can then bring his mates, his family in the future to here, because that's what I want it to be from my point of view, a place that he comes, that his family will come after me, his friends will come, their families will come, and slowly but surely what you'll do is you'll build a fan base back in Wimbledon.